Hello, Olathe West. Today we'll be doing an ACT math prep. Before we begin though, I want to talk about the junior testing day. You all did very well. You juniors that took the ACT on the junior testing day scored the highest than we have ever had in the building. You also had the most amount of people that chose to take it. So great job. You've been working hard at this and you want to keep that up. Typically, we will have about 100 of you juniors will choose to take the ACT again after this junior testing day. So that might be this Saturday on the April ACT test day, or most likely in June. Or you might even do it in the fall of your senior year. But there'll be about 100 of you that are going to go ahead and pursue and keep on working on this, right? That's about a 25% of the junior class. So that's why we're still doing this prep work. What we're going to do today is we're going to do 10 questions, and it just kind of a going over of everything we've done. So what I'll do is I'll put the question up. You'll all work it out, submit your answer, and then you'll watch the solution, okay? There's gonna be 10 of these. So let's begin with the first question. Okay, the way to work this one out is you're gonna go ahead and guess. We know that A is less than B, is less than C, is less than D. So I'm going to just pick values for A, B, C, D. And we're told that they are positive integers. So I'm just going to put numbers in to make this true, right? Those numbers do, in fact, reflect this to be true. And if I plug them in, this first fraction becomes 1/2. The second fraction becomes 2/3, which is, again, greater than 1/2, so we know it's not F. C over D becomes 3/4, which is bigger than choice G. J turns out to be 3/5, which is 0.6, which is not bigger than 3/4. And then letter K turns out to be 5/7, which is 0.71. So the biggest answer was letter H. Okay, here is our second question. Okay, the answer is H. What we need to do is find out what f of 2 minus g of 2 is. And we're just going to plug in values, right? Right, using our two functions here. This gives us 15 minus 1, which is why the answer is H. Question number 3. Okay, the way to solve this is we will distribute the 2's, right? So we will have x plus 6 equals 2x plus 6 minus x. And then I think what we're going to do is combine these x's here to make this. So if you don't notice it, we go to solve for x, we subtract x from both sides, and that gives us 6 equals 6. And since the x's dropped out, the answer is either A or E. Since this is a true statement, the answer must be letter E. Okay, here's question number 4. Okay, so we're asked to factor this. Now we're told one of the roots is -3. That means the factor it comes from is x plus 3, okay? So from a root to a factor. Now again, this is ax squared plus 13x minus 6. So we're trying to get this to be a -6 when we multiply. Well, if this is a +3, I think this has to be a -2. Okay. So far so good. And then when I multiply the outside numbers, I get negative 2x. I'm not sure what I get when I multiply the inside, but I know that their sum has to be 13x. So, gosh, I'm thinking this would be an x for sure to make that work out. But when I multiply the inside, I get a negative 3x here. And I'm like, gosh, what is going on here? It's kind of a tricky one. I think what we need to do is have a 5 here, really, because if we put the 5 there, 5 times 3 is 15x. And then when I subtract the 2x from that, we will get the 13x, which is what we want. So we want to say that this 5x minus 2 is our other factor. Fortunately, I'm not seeing it over here, but if I were to solve that, we would get x equals 2/5, which then I could say is x minus 2/5, right? And there it is, letter F. This was number 60, definitely well-earned number 60. Okay, question number 5. Well, the way to work this out is we notice that these digits repeat every 4 times. So if I turn the number 322 over 4 into a mixed fraction, right, a mixed number, it results in 80 and 2/4. In other words, 80 of these will keep on happening. There'll be 80 complete sets of 4. And then there's going to be 2 of the 4 left. Well, 3 is in the second place. And so the answer is letter C. Okay, question number 6. Okay, so the way to work this out is we're going to do a little guessing and checking here. We know which way this motorcycle is moving, and one of it's 40 miles an hour, the other is 60 miles an hour. How many hours would it take for it to be 200 miles apart? I look at some answers here. I'm going to guess 3 hours first. 3.2, not so much. I'm going to try 3 hours. So it means if we travel for 40 miles per hour for 3 hours, this would be a 120, right? And 3 hours at 60 miles per hour would give us 180. Now, if we do Pythagorean theorem on this, we wind up with x equaling 216 miles. Now, the thing is, we're trying to find out where we're 200 miles apart. So that meant 3 hours was just a little too big. Well, that means, so would 3.2, 7.7, and 8.7. So if I were to change this, instead of being 3 hours, let's try 2 hours instead. That would go ahead and give us this side to be 80, and this side here to be 120. So if we do Pythagorean theorem on this, we wind up with x equaling 144 miles. So the answer is somewhere between 2 and 3 hours, so it's letter B. I know there's other ways to do this one. I kind of wanted to show you some estimating that makes it kind of quick. Okay, question number 7. Okay, so first thing we need to remember is SOHCAHTOA. And we're dealing with this triangle here. So I'm going to draw that up a little bit larger. We're trying to find angle KJL. So we're trying to find out what this angle is here, right? The cosine of it. Now, I notice that cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. We don't have the hypotenuse. So we're going to have to do Pythagorean theorem to get that hypotenuse. And that winds up to being the square root of 130. Well, now we can do cosine. Adjacent over hypotenuse. So 9 over the square root of 130. Letter D. Okay, question number 8. So we want to know the probability of drawing a kidney bean is exactly 1/5, which is, I believe, 0.2. That's what we're trying to get. And right now we have 4 kidney beans in the jar. And we're adding these pinto beans. So I'm going to try first. I'm going to try adding 5. So I'm going to try adding 5. That means the probability of a kidney bean, well, there's 4 kidney beans out of now 4 plus 5, right? Because we're adding in 5 pinto beans. That equals 0.4. So we need, that's like way too big. So we need to add even, we need to make this number of what we're adding in even bigger. So we're going to try adding 16 instead. Well, that would give us 4 over 4 plus 16, which is 0.2. That's our answer. This is a quick little guess and check. Okay, 2 more. Okay, for this one, we have a 6-character code. So I'm going to put in 6 spaces. We're told that it starts with an A and then an H. So we have an A here and an H here. And the rest are the digits 0 through 9, and digits may repeat. So the rest of these are numbers. Well, there's only one way to pick an A. There's one way to pick an H. And since the digits are 0 through 9, there's 10 numbers in there. And they can repeat. So the answer must be letter F. Okay, one more to do. Okay, I want to find out the median, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to write these numbers in order from smallest to biggest. I think I see 55 is the first one. 67 would be the next largest. And then a 78. And then 81. And then I think there's 85 is next. And then an 87. In fact, there's 2 87s. And then 94. And then 97 and 99. So we need to find the middle value. So I'm just going to just start counting in. The middle numbers between 85 and 87 must be 86. That's it. Thank you very much, Owls, for your attention today.